Hey guys, what's going on? It's Coma Victor Hines here. I hope you're all having a really good week. And I just wanted to drop in real quick and talk about the Bundesliga shortly. For those of you who don't know, Match Week 28 is underway. These round of games were played during the midweek, and the first group of teams have already played, which was yesterday. And a few teams are playing today to round up the Match Week 28. I want to talk mainly about the Dark Klassiker, and the Dark Klassiker was amongst this group of games, and it was perhaps the most crucial game of the 2019-20 season in terms of the title race. First placed Bayern Munich were going up against second placed Borussia Dortmund. 4 points separating these two. Borussia Dortmund had to go into this game and win it if they wanted to keep their title hopes alive and keep the pressure on Bayern Munich. However, things did not go as planned, at least as planned by Borussia Dortmund. Bayern Munich won the game on the night by 1 goal to nil, and that set them 7 points clear of Borussia Dortmund. Now, theoretically, Borussia Dortmund are still in it, and anyone could say you never know what's going to happen in the next coming weeks, and Bayern Munich could blow it, which is a possibility. But Bayern's experience, I mean, they're 7 time consecutive champions of the Bundesliga. I highly doubt any of that is going to happen. Now, the game itself, Bayern Munich's experience proved to be the difference and the turning point between the two clubs. Joshua Kimmich scored a lovely chipped goal from outside the box, contender for goal of the season. And after Bayern Munich got that goal, they showed their experience. They retained the ball and shut Borussia Dortmund out. Borussia Dortmund huffed and puffed, tried to test Bayern Munich here and there, but eventually all their efforts were futile. There were a number of questions raised about the selection of Borussia Dortmund's manager, the team that he put out, but it's understandable because most of his first team players that would play week in, week out, are unfit. Players like Jadon Sancho, Emre Can, Axel Witsel, all these players have been unfit ever since the league restarted. And we did see Jadon Sancho come in for the second 45 minutes, but you could see that he was unfit, that he was way out of shape, and he couldn't handle the intensity of that game. Bayern Munich players went out there and showed their class, all right? Thomas Muller, Robert Lewandowski, the likes of Leon Goretzka, Jerome Boateng, David Alaba, these are all players who have been at the top and have won multiple Bundesliga championship titles, and it could show. You could just see that Borussia Dortmund is a club that, yes, is trying to chase down Bayern Munich, but aren't there just yet. And Bayern Munich showed them that you guys still have a lot of work to do if you're to get to where we are at. One honorable mention that I have to talk about is Alphonso Davies, the 19-year-old fullback, in fact, left back. Alphonso Davies put on quite a show in that game. Defensively and going forward, he had his all. I know we talk about Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andy Robertson, but Alphonso Davies is potentially one of the best fullbacks in the entire world. All right. Yes, he's still young. He still has a little bit of flaws, but the sky is the limit for this kid. The sky is the limit, and he has a very high ceiling with more experience and more games. Perhaps he could be the best fullback in the world during his time. You could see those fragments. You could see the preview that there is something here in this kid. Robert Lewandowski did not get onto the score sheet, neither did Erling Braut Haaland, but they did try. They did try. Perhaps one thing from the game that I have to talk about is that controversial Jerome Boateng handball, which wasn't called. All right. After Bayern Munich went ahead in the game, Borussia Dortmund went to the other side of the box trying to get an equalizer, and Erling Braut Haaland, all right, shot the ball towards the goal, and during that period, during his attempt to score a goal, Jerome Boateng, I don't know why I'm confusing these. Jerome Boateng threw his elbow in the way of the shot that was goal bound and deflected off him and went out for a corner. Now, the replays were shown, and to everyone watching at home, even those watching on the big screens in the stadium, could tell that that was a handball. That was a deliberate handball. He deliberately threw his elbow in the way of the shot, and that deflected off him and went out for a corner. Now, that was meant to be a penalty, but this is where things got interesting. Borussia Dortmund perhaps did not realize what Jerome Boateng had done and wanted to get on with the game quickly. They were looking for that equalizer, and they took the corner quickly. It didn't give time for the officials in the VAR room to review the incident, and the players didn't make a big fuss about it either. So the referee decided to go on with the game and not try to go over to the VAR screen and review the incident. All right. And that was quite awkward and queer, to be honest, because the replays were so clear. You would have thought that the officials in the VAR room would tell the referee, wait, hold on a minute, there's something here, something you've actually missed. And it was clear as day, all right? But that happened, and what can I say? It is still human beings who are controlling the VAR, and human beings are not 100% perfect and 100% efficient. So, yeah, there's going to be mistakes here and there, and that costed Borussia Dortmund. Perhaps if they had known and the penalty was given, that would have given them a fighting chance to actually equalize and go on to win the game. However, that didn't happen, and they failed to score a goal in the second 45 minutes. Bayern Munich held on, showed their class, their experience, and in the end, they won the game. And with that, they went 7 points clear of Borussia Dortmund. And to me, I have to say the title is almost, perhaps, already over. The title race is over, and Bayern Munich have already won the title because their experience is exceptional and like none other in the Bundesliga. All right, no other team comes close to what Bayern Munich have accomplished, and those sort of players know how to handle themselves in certain situations and situations like these. All right, they passed that test, and over the few coming weeks, they just gotta rack up enough points to get it over the line, which I know and believe that they are going to do quite comfortably. Now, there were a number of other games that went on as well. There was an enthralling Eintracht Frankfurt game against Freiburg, which ended in a 3-all draw. Bayer Leverkusen were defeated by Wolfsburg by 4-1. Quite surprising, in fact, because, Bayer Leverkusen have been quite good ever since the restart. Even before the restart, they were quite good. Kai Havertz was on a roll. But I don't know what went wrong in this game. It seems Wolfsburg were up for it, and Bayer Leverkusen just didn't show up. And that proved to be really consequential for them. There are other games that are going on today. Hertha Berlin, RB Leipzig have played out a 2-all draw. And there are two more games, perhaps, that are going on at the moment. I forget what teams are playing, but there are two more Bundesliga games going on. You can catch them, as I said, on Star Times. You can get the Star Times up, and you can watch those games on there or wherever you watch them from. So, yeah, that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the Klassiker and what the fate of the Bundesliga will look like now. And to me, Bayern Munich are going to be 8-time consecutive Bundesliga champion. So with that, I'm going to end this video and wish you guys a good rest of the week, and I'll see you soon. Bye.